Another way we can grow as a leader is to actually spend time with the people we're leading. Proximity is discipleship. It's one of the main factors that actually doesn't just produce rule followers, but actual disciples. And so we see in the Old Testament, God gave the law, which produced prophets and teachers, but God with us, Emmanuel, came and produced sons and daughters and disciples, and that's what we should be after. And so in order for that to happen, I'm sorry, you are not going to be able to sit off in your ivory tower and just bark orders and tell people what to do. You need to open up your home, you need to open up your schedule and be available to the people that God has called you to be with. I want you to know that Jesus did this to common people. He was available. When you think about it, he was available to children, to poor people, to the common ones. What a contrast that is to these leaders with their bodyguards keeping at arm's distance the people they're leading. What a contrast Jesus is to that. Well, you might think to yourself, well, Joel, if I just let everybody in, like I'm going to get overwhelmed with everybody's demand and I'm just going to get swamped. I want you to know that Jesus navigated this because he actually didn't allow everybody to do that. And a lot of times we have to create these systems to keep us from the people we're leading because actually we're not healthy and we don't know how to set boundaries. We don't know how to say no. As a leader, you need to know how to say no to people who want to dominate your life, who want to turn you into their punching bag or their doormat. And you want to actually be able to say to somebody, hey, I'm sorry, but no. I'm not going to be able to do that, or I'm not going to be available to this and that. When we're willing to confront in love and we're willing to set boundaries, then actually we don't have to create all these systems to keep people out, and we can be available to the people that God has allotted to be in your life. And you don't want to miss the opportunities for discipleship and friendship because you were unhealthy. And so what I want you to do is to think about who are the people that you're meant to allow access to your life, and ask God, who are these people that are supposed to have access that you need to prioritize? I didn't ask whether you like them or not. I didn't ask whether you enjoy hanging out with them. I asked, who is God called to be part of your life and to give them proximity and availability into your life, and who are the people that are not supposed to be in your life? And as you ask God, I want you to commit. I want you to dig in to these relationships with people and give your time and availability and eat with them and go on adventures of obedience with them. And what we'll begin to see is that when we do what Jesus did, we begin to see what he saw. And we too often as leaders, we're not doing what Jesus did. We're not getting what he got, and we're confused. And so we want to see disciples who make disciples. It means you're going to have to let them in. When you hear this idea of letting people into your life and allowing access, you might come up with all these fears of, well, what if they find this about me? What if they judge me? And I want you to know that those are areas that God wants to deal with. And it's actually in community that these things can get exposed, get dealt with. And so we need to walk in the light as he is in the light, and we'll actually have real fellowship with one another, as we see in 1 John. And so I want to encourage you, if you're finding you're struggling letting people in because of fear, there's a course called Freedom for the Willing that you can go to that will walk you through identifying where are those fears coming from and how can we overcome them so that we can truly cultivate healthy community and become a transparent leader.